In today's video, I have a clean energy penny stock that is blowing up all over social media right now. This Nasdaq listed company only went public in the past 2 weeks and is possibly the most volatile stock that I have seen this year. In today's video, I will be talking about XCF Global. Since going public, this stock ran to over $45 and then dropped down to under $2, but this could be one of the most oversold stocks you'll see this month. The company's market cap has now dropped far below the reported enterprise value, and a reversal could be on the cards. If you trade volatile stocks, then this needs to be on your watch list right now. Now we've got a lot to get through in this video, so I will try to keep this intro short, but if you find any value in this, can I ask you to smash the like button? It takes a lot of time to make these videos, but it literally takes 2 seconds and costs nothing to smash the like button, and it helps the channel out so much. I'm aiming to get 500 likes on this video. Help me hit that goal. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any new content like this. I want to point out that I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice, so always do your own due diligence. And I would really appreciate it if you could try to answer the question later in this video. Now let's get into it. So today I'm talking about XCF Global, ticker symbol SAFX. XCF Global is a pioneering synthetic aviation fuel company dedicated to accelerating the aviation industry's transition to net zero emissions. They are the first publicly traded pure-play sustainable aviation fuel producer in the United States. XCF is developing and operating state-of-the-art clean fuel SAF production facilities engineered to the highest standards, and the company is actively building partnerships across the energy and transportation sectors to accelerate the adoption of SAF on a global scale. The company utilizes non-food feedstocks such as waste oil, fats and agricultural residues to produce SAF that can reduce carbon emissions by up to 80% compared to traditional jet fuel. SAF is widely accepted as the only viable near-term option to decrease emissions in the aviation sector, and with the world's need for greener alternatives to oil, the demand is beginning to be seen now, which I will talk about in just a moment. XCF holds strategic early mover advantage with an actual operating SAF production facility in Reno, Nevada. New Rise Reno was commissioned in February and has estimated annualized production capacity of 38 million gallons of renewable fuels, with the second facility expected to launch in 2027 with an estimated 40 million gallon production capacity. But that's not all, because XCF are planning to open 2 more facilities in Florida and North Carolina in 2028, bringing their total capacity up from 38 million gallons today to over 159 million gallons. So this is a company that you might not have heard of before, and there is a simple reason for that. XCF only went public last week on June 9th following their merger with Focus Impact 3 acquisition company on June 6th. So Focus Impact was a SPAC company that was trading at its SPAC IPO price, but as soon as the merger was completed, this stock began to run up and went as high as $44 last Monday. But the stock has been on a steep decline since then, going from $44.65 down to only $186 in just a week. These types of stock plays that are highly volatile are a trader's paradise, and we've seen that early this morning when the stock rallied from its $2 low up to $6 in early trading, but has been dropping again throughout the day. But the question is the stock at bottom now? At the current price, XCF has a market cap of just over $300 million. This is a very long way below the company's implied value. According to the merger deal announced last year, the transaction implied a pro forma enterprise value of $1.84 billion. So at this price, the stock has certainly got my attention, because this is not some pipe dream. This is a company that is already up and running, already has production, and already secured its first orders. Back in February, the New Rise facility entered into an irrevocable corporate purchase order for the sale of over 3 million gallons of neat SAF, with the first shipments of neat SAF in February and early March. But this is just the beginning. XCF plans to be a global leader in sustainable aviation fuel in the next 5 to 10 years. Many clean energy companies have gone public in recent years, and when XCF CEO Mihir Danj was recently asked, how does XCF Global's strategy differ from other clean energy plays and what sets them apart in the market? He replied that many clean energy IPOs have focused on long-term or future-forward concepts, whereas XCF already have an operating SAF facility, a long-term supply and offtake agreement with a Fortune 500 company, and are already generating revenue. And this Fortune 500 company is Phillips 66. If you're unfamiliar, Phillips 66 is a $50 billion market cap company, one of the largest multinational energy companies in the world. Now, if we look here at the sustainability report by Bloomberg, we can see that we are still at the very beginning of the switch over to sustainable aviation fuel. And the airline industry has set the goal to become net zero by 2050. Now, while 2050 is a long way away, there is a lot of room for growth over the next 2 decades. Because as of 2024, SAF currently represents a small fraction of total aviation fuel consumption, estimated to be less than 1% of global jet fuel use. But things are beginning to change quickly. Sustainable aviation fuel investors expect a 100x growth in the next decade. And in the past few days, the EU made an announcement to subsidize high volumes of greener aviation fuel to boost airline demand. The EU is offering to subsidize airline purchases of more than 200 million litres of SAF to encourage carriers to swap kerosene for cleaner alternatives. The calculations, based on the European Commission data, suggest that the subsidies could trigger a significant boost to airline demand for SAF, given the volume equates to about 15% of global SAF production. So straight away there is a massive increase in demand. And XCF has the answer. The transformative years, 2025 to 2030, will be foundational. This is when we lay the groundwork for mass SAF adoption, scaling production, securing long-term commitments, and advancing policy frameworks to achieve a 2030 SAF Grand Challenge goal of producing 3 billion gallons annually. The long-term goal is to reach 35 billion gallons of SAF production, a crucial step towards the goal of net zero emissions in the US by 2050. And XCF is said to be at the forefront of this as they scale production up over the next few years, which we've already seen. They are forging partnerships with airlines, energy companies, and fuel distributors to create long-term supply agreements, and continuing innovation in SAF technology will be the key to ensuring widespread adoption and sustained industry transformation. And just yesterday, XCF Global announced the appointment of new board of directors, assembling a powerhouse board of former Shell, Deloitte, and JP Morgan executives joining the XCF Global board to accelerate their SAF fuel expansion. This new board combines global leadership experience with backgrounds in energy, aviation, finance, and private equity, with directors offering expertise in scaling businesses, managing public companies, and driving shareholder value. Mihir Danj is the CEO of XCF Global, and Anderson, a former senior executive at Shell with extensive experience in global energy, aviation fuel, and large-scale commercial transactions. Sandy Cockrell, a former partner at Deloitte. Si-Yun Kim, who has had leadership roles at American Express and JP Morgan Chase. Carter McCain, and Ray Thorne, who is the co-founder of Focus Impact Partners. Now, this looks like a highly capable team, but guys, what do you think of XCF Global? The SAF market is experiencing a period of rapid development right now, but this is only the beginning. That being said, this is possibly the most volatile IPO that I have seen in a long time, with the stock making huge moves in both directions every day. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. But remember that I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice, so I highly recommend you do your own due diligence on XCF Global stock. To learn more about XCF, check out the links in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next